Talk Radio 1450 WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. We've got our Need to Know Things coming up a little bit later on in this 8:30 half hour. Stick around for those. A recent guest of Joel Markel's on his Saturday morning program called Preferred Company, which is just great if you haven't had a chance to listen to his show yet, was a guest who was talking about something called bioenergy. And I was really kind of fascinated by this, and I wanted to get some more information. So joining me now on the Raritan Bay Medical Center Jersey Newsmaker hotline, let's say hello to Dr. Terry Rondberg, who joins us this morning on Jersey Central. Dr. Rondberg, good morning. It's Burt Barron. How you doing today?
Great, Bert. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. You know, with when you do a 3-hour talk show every day, I find myself trying to squeeze every last little thing I can out of my brain. I'm always trying to take in information, process things, and be able to kind of present it in a coherent way. The bioenergy, is that something that somebody like me could use to make my job a little easier and a little bit better?
You know, it helps everyone, Bert, who has a brain. It increases function in the brain so that when we use bioenergy, it restores the life force that flows from the brain to all the cells in the body function better.
Very cool. Now, is it true, doctor, that most people only use just a small percentage of their brain's ability? Is that true?
Well, that's true, and of course we can always learn to use more with cognitive training, and just doing the kind of work you do stimulates your brain every day, so it increases in function just doing your show. But what I think most people are referring to is that consciously we only use a very small, maybe 1% of our brain, but subconsciously our brain is extremely busy running our body and doing all the other things it does, and it's very, very active.
And this bioenergy system that you've developed, it really kind of helps you maximize your brain's ability. Is that what it does?
Well, it really does. You know what I've based this whole science on is really current neuroscience. Plus, it's a blend of ancient Eastern medicine. I have a background in 7 different areas of natural healing, and part of that is acupuncture. I studied in Beijing, China. Part of it is Ayurvedic medicine that I studied in the Punjab in northern India many years ago.
Hmm.
And I'm also a massage therapist and a chiropractor, and I have several different certifications in areas and diplomates in areas of natural healing. So I blended all that together, this ancient Eastern medicine and this modern psychology and neuroscience, and came up with bioenergy, which is a very simple way to open up the channels or the portal in the area of the suboccipital area, right in the upper neck muscles of just below the brain stem. And with very specific, safe sensory percussions, that input passes upward into the cortex of the brain, and it creates new patterns that make the unconscious conscious, the impossible possible, and the possible easier.
Wow. Is it sort of like somebody throwing a light switch, doctor, or is it sort of a gradual improvement that someone will notice?
Well, it depends on the person. You know, for some people, one visit and they have dramatic changes. If they have serious problems, they can tell because the symptoms change. On someone who's fairly healthy, an athlete or someone who doesn't have any symptoms, it's still going to do great things for them. They'll still benefit greatly from having an increase in life force flowing throughout their body, restoring their body to homeostasis. But that's something that happens automatically in everyone's body. And so we just use that same concept and apply bioenergy, which is, like I said, completely safe. And we sometimes it takes time.
Very
Mother
cool.
Nature is, takes time healing.
Yeah, that's true. And we're going to give you some information, a website, phone number, how you can reach out and get some more information and find about exactly what bioenergy is all about. And we'll do that coming up in just a few moments. Our guest is Dr. Terry Ronberg this morning here on Jersey Central. And I'm trying to think, Dr. Ronberg, what's one segment of the professional world that could really benefit from the bioenergy program? Right away, health professionals came to mind for me. Imagine someone who is treating, I mean, here in New Jersey, we are the healthcare state. We've got great hospitals. We've got wonderful medical professionals. How great would it be if medical professionals were able to maximize their brain's ability and be able to pass along their knowledge and be able to help out that many people? It sounds like it would be a terrific, terrific benefit for health professionals.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Bert, because I have reached out to thousands of health professionals, not only in medicine, but in osteopathy and in chiropractic and naturopathy. It doesn't have to be limited, though. We have an online course that we train people in how to become a certified bioenergy therapist at bioenergycertification.com. anyone, any layperson can learn to do it. We like massage therapists to learn to do it. Any person can add this to what they're already doing and increase brain function, and it's a fabulous way to help your patients or your clients so they can maximize their health potential.
I'm trying to think maybe someone else who works with numbers, or maybe someone who does even physical labor. There's even some benefits to bioenergy for them as well.
Well, anyone who increases their brain function is going to be a healthier human being. So you
That
can apply it to almost any profession.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think even athletes. I mean, imagine being able to see a spin on a baseball a little bit better. How much better a
Well,
baseball hitter you could
no,
be, right?
it's a great concept, and you're absolutely right. You know, and the point I try and make with everyone, Bert, is that just because you feel fine doesn't mean you're healthy. You know, we do brain scans in the office before we treat anyone, and we discover things like early Alzheimer's,
Wow.
heart disease, and cancer, and you can see it in the brain where the interference shows up. You know, we measure 6,000 frequencies per second with 20 leads on the skull, and it's absolutely harmless. It's painless. It takes about a half an hour. And you know how many people die every day in America from a condition called SCD?
Mm,
That stands for sudden cardiac death. Well,
wow.
heart disease, you know, is the number one killer in America. It kills over 611,000 people every year. Half those people, 800 a day, die from their first symptom, which is not considered a heart attack by the American Heart Association. It's just when they define it as the heart stopping abruptly without warning, and the medical diagnosis is SCD. And it's not a heart attack. There's no
Wow.
blockage in the arteries. It's an electrical problem, and it often happens to outwardly healthy people with no known heart problems, including children, affecting 7 to 10,000 of America's young every year.
Well,
So,
not only the benefits of bioenergy, it sounds like, as is Dr. Ronberg, the benefits are numerous, but the potential that this could have for people. And you mentioned about early onset Alzheimer's. Boy, that is something that we have been struggling with as a civilization for a long time. And if that shows any promise in that field, it's really remarkable.
well, it already has, and what's amazing about it is that if you go to the Alzheimer Association's website, you'll find out they recommend not bioenergy, but they recommend a change in healthy lifestyle and better eating habits and cognitive therapy and, you know, training your brain online. And there are all kinds of things people can do. They can increase their fitness level. They can stop eating sugars and grains. There's a lot of study and a lot of research that supports the best way to treat Alzheimer's is to prevent it. And what we do is increase brain function, so that's a no-brainer. You know, when people come into our center, it's like taking their brain to the spa.
Wow.
What's scary to me is if we don't nourish our brains, we could be one of the statistics that are going to be diagnosed with Alzheimer's this year. They predict 5.3 million Americans are going to be diagnosed with some type of dementia this year alone. And the major form of dementia is Alzheimer's.
That's
And that
scary.
number is expected to grow each year as our population continues to grow above age 65. I don't want to be one of them. According to the Center for Disease Control, Alzheimer's disease is the sixth largest killer in America, killing over 84,000 people a year.
Yeah, that is scary. So all the more want and all the more need to get some more information about bioenergy. What's the first step that someone should take, Dr. Ronberg, about getting more information?
Well, I recommend three websites. The first website I would go to is bioenergycertification.com. That explains bioenergy, and there are a lot of great videos on there, and people can really understand what it is. You know, if a person could be empowered to learn this themselves, they could take care of their own families on a regular basis. They could save thousands and thousands of dollars a year in unnecessary medical expenses by taking care of their family and their friends before the onset of symptoms and diseases and conditions. So it's preventative, and that's the real key is early detection. That's critical. And, you know, our entire program is designed to make good brains great.
Excellent. So that's the website people should go to. Bioenergycertification.com is the best way.
That's one of them. The other one is this is all being done under a very active, large nonprofit of over 25 years. It's called the World Chiropractic Alliance.org. This is a special program they endorse to be able to help reach out to the masses, to the public. Maybe people aren't currently doing anything. Maybe they want to learn what they can do for their families and learn how to take care of themselves so they can prevent the need for drugs and surgery and other forms of health care. By nipping it in the bud, by taking care of it first, you prevent it. which makes much more sense to me. That's why we have a wellness center.
Yeah, I agree completely. And what's the third website that people can go to?
Temecula Wellness Center.
Okay,
.com. That's my center in Southern California,
cool.
and we take care of hundreds of people every week, and we see miracles happen constantly.
I'm sure. Well, it was great to have you on the show this morning, Dr. Rondberg. Bioenergy is changing lives, and it seems like it's nothing but the sky's the limit for how this can really help people out going forward. So I really want to thank you for getting up early and chatting with us this morning, and
It's
continued
great to be
success.
on, Bert.
I really
It really
appreciate
is.
having you. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
My pleasure, Doctor. Be well.
Okay, great.
All right,
Bye.
take care. All right, Dr. Terry Ronberg, my guest on